but
And
they don't.
you came back Thursday night to where this meeting is supposed to be being reconvened.
Mhm.
And what happens Thursday night?
Well, Thursday night they have all these special rules. We can't do this and we can't do that. So we decided, well, if we can't do nothing, we won't do nothing. So Monday night it's from yelling and being all all up and down and getting attention from Monday night doing that to Thursday night walking up and being silent. You know, well, that was against the rules too, their rules. So a few of us were silent, and because we didn't decide to speak on a certain subject and we were just standing there being silent, well, it was against their new rules, so they escorted us out. And when they escorted us out, um, they decided to, you know, issue us trespassing citations.
Well, if we're correct, the first few people that were escorted out were just escorted out as requested by the chair. And then at some point they decided to start charging some of you with trespass and giving you trespass warnings, saying if you come back within 90 days to the entire Civic Plaza, and certainly to City Council, therefore denying your voice for another 3 months. But that wasn't consistent. Only some people.
Yeah, by the way they wanted to do it. But and then of course the president of the council says, well, he didn't know that they were going to start issuing citations. This is classic. The right hand doesn't know what the left hand is going to do in this Albuquerque city government.
And his signature, Ken Sanchez, as the presiding officer, in lieu of the sort of the legal officer for the proprietor of the building. It's a public building, and so to trespass someone from a public building in public meetings is a real extreme, and there's a lot of questions as to it's being more and more widely used to suppress dissent, and it's very problematic, but. At first, I've seen, for example, I think David Correa was the first to get a trespass warning
Okay.
when they brought him out, and the document is not even filled out, and there's no incident report, there's no case number, and there's a blank line for the proprietor's signature. And of course, New Mexico law requires that the proprietor request that you be trespassed formally. And
Okay.
that signature is their attesting under oath, in a sense, that they're taking this action. And so the first ones that came out didn't even have that signature. But by the time you were given a trespass, were you not?
Yes, and it didn't have a signature on it
So
either.
you were the one without a signature as well. In the latter ones, it turned out that one of the officers was putting the signature on as Ken Sanchez.
Yeah, that's what I seen there. I didn't actually see it being done, but I seen the paper. I seen some papers didn't have like a ticket number on them. Then other papers didn't have a signature. Then another paper had a ticket number and a signature. So they were all different.
Right.
They were all different. It was like a circus. It was a joke.
And at
you know?
first, it looked like that this was going to escalate, and because I think you were actually meeting with some attorneys when Charlie Arison and I were at City Hall, and long before any meeting was going to be held at the council, we noticed a sign on the door announcing even further new rules that said the moment you disrupt, you will be trespassed. And then if more than two people are engaged in the disruption, the chair has the unilateral authority to recess the meeting or adjourn the meeting. But I believe, and I don't want you to have to speak too much about the lawsuit that is, the ACLU has announced that it has agreed to take a lawsuit, First Amendment case. But soon after that, there was an announcement by Ken Sanchez, was there not, about they're not going to enforce those.
Oh yeah, yeah, because they don't know what they're doing. So they thought they could get away with it. Well, when they found out that the ACLU was going to become involved, because it had happened, I don't know, 8 months, a year before at another commission, they had done, amendment rights violation, and and the people involved with that, ended up, being right, you know, and this was not really exactly like it, but in other words, they didn't learn, they didn't remember, or they just didn't care about what happened previously at another meeting about First Amendment rights. So then they start making up the rules, and they basically are city leaders that don't know city rules, don't know, the Constitution rules.
And when you got up and you engaged in your silence, just on the silence alone part, that was a message you were trying to send.
Oh yeah, plus I had my kid's picture on the overhead too.
So you weren't disrupting, which was the allegation effectively.
Right.
You were taking your 2 minutes to express yourself, and you used nonverbal means of communication, both your silence, which silence can often speak louder than any words, and I think you even mentioned that at one point. And I think is that the photo there that
Oh
you
yeah,
had,
this is the photo I had for Alan.
you wanted the council members to say, this is what it's about. That was your message, and they removed you from the meeting.
Yes, they did.
For doing nothing more than that, rather than
Nothing
just
more
give
than
you
that.
your 2 minutes and let
Yeah,
you
put
move
my
on.
put my kid's picture up on the screen, and just make sure they knew that it was his third year of the anniversary of his death was coming up, and they didn't want to hear it, and they escorted me out before my big 2 minutes of expression was done. So it just has to be corrected. The struggle continues, and it's going to continue. This is probably a struggle that's going to continue for forever around here, it seems like, because no one wants to play by the rules, no one wants to follow the rules, and no one knows what the rules are. And then if they do know what the rules are, they don't care. So it's hard to say, It's hard to say how long this is going to last.